In this chapter, let's just talk about some terms here because I think it's really important that you know the basics. Okay, so pretty much this right over here, and some of these names are really self-explanatory. This right over here, your forehead, would be called your frontal bone. Okay, you could just easily call this thing your eye socket. I guess the fancier way of saying it is your orbital bone. This right over here, your cheekbone, layman's term for saying that, and I see that this drawing is off. I need to fix that, but let's just leave that for now. Is pretty much called your zygoma. And nasal bone, all right, the top part of your jaw right over here. I didn't really get into teeth because I think I am going to draw on top of this skull. The top part of your jaw, maxilla, bottom jaw, mandible, okay? And this is just really a severe angle that you do see in a lot of models. And this is something that's really going to pop out. Your temporal bone right over here, this is a temporal line that you're going to see on a lot of skinny models. Again, you know, you can have a normal model that is not super skinny and still see this. There's just so many factors that are involved with the different way people look and anatomy. This over here called your mastoid process. If you put your fingers behind your ear, that is something that you don't really see, but I think about that a lot when I draw the skull. And the reason why is because if we look at the picture of the skull over here, there's a muscle that attaches on this that comes all the way on the mastoid process, not this, that comes all the way down to your clavicle. Okay, and that is something that is so pronounced on the neck that's why I've always remembered the mastoid process. Okay, so you just want to think about the back of your skull as being your cranium. Now, I think the rest is kind of redundant, and you don't need to know all the different, minutia. I think you just need to know those like 10 terms that I've given you, and I think the biggies that you're really going to be using are this cheekbone, zygoma, eye socket, mastoid process, your lower jaw, and just being aware that you are going to be thinking about eye sockets when you draw the eyes and not two lines. You remember, also let me do it small over here, or I'll do it on top. In the portrait drawing DVD, I said that the skull is made up of 2 ovals. Well, this would be my first oval. It comes around, it touches the edge. Bottom oval touches the bottom of the jaw, and then we wrap around. And then our horizontal oval is the back of the cranium, frontal bone, and then we wrap around this way. So if I was going to do it small for you, this skull over here, it's a little foreshortened because it's a 3/4 view. That's how I would think about it. And, this is where my jaw would go. Okay, and then I've got my angle for the front plane. Then I've got this. So now what I think is really going to help you is I'm going to remove this photo, and I am going to put this photo underneath the video on the website, and I'm going to put the photo of the guy that I'm going to attempt to loosely draw on top of the skull. And that's where I think that you'll get a little bit more than me just saying, this is the zygoma bone. That's the mastoid process. I mean, that's cool and you should know it, but it's not going to be too relevant unless you have something to compare it to.